When I think of worms, which is something I do all the time of course, I think about those slimy little earth crawlers that you use to catch fish. I don't usually think about giant dragon lizards that try to demolish me with a giant sword. But then I guess that's what separates me from the people who made Elden Ring. That and the fact that I'm not constantly trying to think of horrible new ways to crush people's spirits. I'm Jamie Latour, and this is how to defeat Magma Wyrm Makar. First of all, how do you find Old Makar? If you're traveling around and you've reached the northern part of Liurnia, you may have stumbled across this massive, ornate building. This is the Grand Lift of Dectus, which will take you up to the Altus Plateau. However, there's a pretty good chance that you won't be able to use it because you don't have both pieces of the medallion necessary to get it running. Fear not, there is another way to reach the Altus Plateau. Travel up to this region near the top of Liurnia. Ride your horse past all of these giant land squids, and you'll come across this area right outside of a place called the Ruin-Strewn Mines. Go up these ladders, kill this random land octopus that's just kind of hanging out right here, and eventually you'll be inside the mines. Now travel over to here and take this lift up. Keep going through the mines and you'll come out to see the big letters that form the words Ruin-Strewn Precipice. This area is chock full of bats, including those creepy bats that can sing in Latin for some reason. Keep going up and you will come to an area that not only has a creepy Latin singing bat, but also some weird bat wearing a nun hat that has a bunch of magic attacks. Once you're done with the bats, you can take this lift up, use this side of grace right here, and through that opening is where you will find your way to the plateau. But the bad news is that in order to get up there, you gotta kill the Magma Wyrm Makar first. Right before you go through that boss wall, there will be some NPC summon signs. There's this big boy with a hammer named Great Horn Tragoth, and if you happen to have come across the Blackguard that sells boiled prawns while exploring Liurnia, and you did part of his quest, his sign will be here too. Now, enter that boss wall, and the arena will be suspiciously empty. Walk forward, and there's our shy little dragon guy. Since Makar is a magma worm, you shouldn't be surprised by the fact that its main attacks involve spewing hot, molten magma everywhere. He'll charge at you and coat the floor with it, spit bursts of it at you whether you're in front or behind him, and he'll also coat his weapon in it to make it even more deadly. Speaking of his weapon, unlike most dragons, Makar knows how to wield a sword, and he will attempt to crush you or slash at you with it. When he enters into his second phase, he'll stand up on his hind legs like a regular Rory Calhoun. At that point, he'll get more aggressive with his sword attacks, swinging it more ferociously and slamming it into the ground with even more force. Makar is resistant to frostbite, which makes sense since fire is usually resistant to ice. He also has a tough hide, which makes slash attacks pretty ineffective against him. For melee fighters, aim for the tail and try to stay to the back of him. He's got a lot of slam attacks, so you don't want to be caught by those. That being said, if you can strike his head, that will do some pretty good damage. You may even be able to break his poise and get a critical attack in. It goes without saying that you want to stay away from the magma that he spits on the ground, as that will quickly melt your health bar away. Keep your distance when he's spitting and charging, and then get in there and beat on him. As for ranged fighters, magic seems to be pretty effective, so you can take Makar out if you have some powerful long-range sorceries equipped. If you are having some trouble with him closing in on you, you can summon some spirits or the NPCs that are outside to draw his attention away from you. So in summary, dodge away and through his sword attacks, avoid his magma, and just keep walloping him. You should have this old worm beat in due time, and after the fight, you'll receive the Magma Wyrm Scale Sword and a dragon heart that you can take to a Church of Dragon Communion to get some kind of wacky dragon spell. Then you can touch the site of grace, head up these steps towards this big tall elevator, and you'll now be within the Altus Plateau, right underneath the Erd tree. Touch this site of grace over here, and you can talk to Melina, who will tell you that you're right underneath the Erd tree. Thanks for the info, Melina. For more Elden Ring news and guides, check out thegamer.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here on the channel next time for more Elden Ring shenanigans.